hope you're able to either follow along or follow along later. I'm going to be doing another one of my kits. It's the second most popular, probably because it's a little bit larger. So the first one I did about a month ago was, was this one, this cotton air plate hanger, and I showed you how to do it step by step from when you receive the kit to the very last knot and putting the plant in it and hanging it up. So I'll be doing that again today with this one. So this is my switch knot plant hanger, and it can hold a 6-inch pot to maybe an 8 to 10-inch pot. So I think last time the video was pretty long, so I'm going to jump right into it, and I will be posting this video on my YouTube channel, which I have other videos on there now, and I'm going to be posting more because I'm really enjoying doing it, so go subscribe. But yeah, I'm going to hand the camera off to Dave, and I'll get started. So I'm going to show you how it looks like when you receive the kit, and then I'll just start knotting. I'll go step by step. So give me 1 second. Let's see. Okay. So here's the kit. I have already pre-measured and pre-cut this rope for you, and it will come in one of these drawstring duffel bags. So you'll get the rope pre-measured, pre-cut. You will receive one of the tutorial booklets, and it shows you each knot step by step, everything you'll need to know and more for future projects. And then you'll get the pattern as well. And this is the switch knot plant hanger. This is using 3 16th-inch rope, cotton twisted, it's 3-ply. And for this, you'll also need to tape each end before you start so it doesn't unravel. So I've already done all that for you if you purchase a kit from me. But in the pattern, it'll show you step by step, and it has pictures taken along the way for you, and then how to style it and how it looks at the end. And I also have where I get my rope and the brass rings, all of that in the pattern. You can also purchase this pattern in my shop. If you don't want to get the kit, you can just get the pattern. And you can also just get the tutorial book if you want. Okay, so I'll get started. First, you'll have to untie this knot. Okay, and it's already folded over the brass ring. And you can use any size brass ring. This is a 1-inch. And you can go up to 2 inches. That looks good. So I'll come over here. In my last video, we kind of went over different places to work on macrame. Here I'm working on this pegboard that we installed about 2.5 inches away from the wall, so you'll have room to put these hooks without scratching your wall. But yeah, watch my other video, and we went through a few other options for you. So when you get the kit, you'll have a separate cord tied onto your long rope. You'll want to take that off because you'll use that for your first knot. And I actually want to show you on the plant hanger what knots we'll be doing before we get started. So first we're going to do the wrap knot, and then we're going to be doing half knots and switch knots. And then down here, when you get to the basket portion of the plant hanger, we'll be doing square knots. And then for the tassel, we'll be doing half knots again. So this plant hanger, I called it the switch knot plant hanger for a reason. You're going to be doing 1, 2, 3 switch knots, and then the rest pretty much half knots. The tutorial booklet also shows you exactly how to do all of those knots. Okay, so the first knot you're going to be doing is the wrap knot, which is securing it to the ring. And to do that, you're going to want to make a loop. And you'll want about 1 inch or 2 extended past where you're going to start wrapping, because you're going to pull this up later. So you'll make the loop a few inches longer than how long you want your wrap knot. So make sure all of your cords are even on your brass ring, and put the loop and hold it tight to the brass ring and start wrapping. So you'll want the long end to go over the short end. And you'll want to do this kind of tight. And you can go about 4 or 5 times. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, and this will be 5. You'll want to take this end and put it through the loop that you left at the bottom. And then this part that you left extended out, you're going to want to pull. Straighten this out and pull. Now you'll take the 2 ends and tighten. So the whole point is that you want the knot hidden underneath the wrap that you made. So then you'll take your scissors, you'll cut, and then for just more added detail, I take needle nose pliers, or you can use a bobby pin or anything you have to stuff this up underneath the wrap knot. I'm just gonna fix it so now it looks infinity, like you don't know where it starts or where it ends, you know? Just makes it look nice. So that's the back of the knot, and I usually turn everything around and I straighten it out. Okay, so now we're going to be making a 3-armed plant hanger. And so we have 12 pieces of rope that you're going to be working with. 6 strands that you folded over your brass ring to make a total of 12 working cords. So you're going to be working with 4 cords at a time. And I usually take the 4 cords that lie in the front of the wrap knot. And we're going to be doing the half knot. And so we're going to be doing this a total of 20 times. And how you do that is you number your cords 1 through 4, and you take your first cord and you make a backwards 4. Then you take cord number 4, put it over cord 1, go behind, pull it through your loop, and tighten. And that is how you do a half knot. And so we're going to be repeating this knot 20 times for the top of the plant hanger design. And so it naturally spirals on its own. Okay, and so I will show you how to do the half knot again. Okay, so you'll number 1 through 4, you'll take cord 1, make a backwards 4, pull the last cord over, behind, and pull it through the loop that you created, and tighten. And it's already starting to want to spiral on its own. So you can always just drop your work, pick it up, and just always start with the left. If you're doing the left facing spiral knot, which is what we were doing, you'll always want to work from the left. So you'll just keep doing it. Okay, so it's starting to spiral, and I just drop it, pick it up, and work. Instead of walking around your work, just keep going. Okay, so how you count these knots is you count these long cords that they're making, bands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10. Hey everyone, if you're just tuning in, we're making the switch knot plant hanger today. I have these kits in my shop and I'm showing you step by step how to do this. So we're on the first portion and we're just doing half knot sennits. So let me count them again. We're going to be doing a total of 20 at the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14, 15, 16. Okay, so you see how it's like twisting as I'm trying to knot and I'm wanting to do this. You can just drop it even if your knot isn't tightened. Pick it up and go from there because it'll fall where it wants to lay naturally, which is in this spiral. So that's how it looks after you do a total of 20 half knots. Okay, so I'm going to move this up on my board and I'll actually show you how to do the first arm, and then I already have over here one completed. Oh, I'm supposed to show you over here. Let me actually do that over here. So I had a plan and I kind of messed it up. So I'm going to start over on this one. I already have 2 arms complete, and I'll start this one, the last arm of this plant hanger, and I'll be able to show you how to line these up along the way. So I'm going to do this top portion again. Okay, so bear with me. I'm just doing half knot sennits really quick. And don't be afraid to use like a little muscle. This rope is like real rope. It's soft, but it is like sturdy as well, and it'll last a lifetime. So you don't have to like do it really hard, but just, you know, you want to keep the same tension throughout the plant hanger so it looks even. And for me, that uses, I like my knots tight, so I do have to use like a little muscle. And, you know, during workshops, a lot of people ask me, you know, is it more important to do the correct number of knots that it says in the pattern, or to make it even across with these? And that's really your preference. I mean, I would rather it look even if I started a little lower down here. I would rather it look even down here, so I might need 21 knots instead of 20. But that's really, you know, your preference. So I'm going to count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, 20. So these are pretty much dead on. All right, so the next knot we're going to be doing is the switch knot. And that's exactly what it means. You're switching your working cords with your filler cords. So your working cords come in the middle. These filler cords come out and become your working cords. And you'll be doing a half knot again. And it makes this switch knot look. So you'll bring your working cords in, your filler cords out, and you'll be doing your half knot again. So do the backwards 4, bring the last one over, behind, and through your loop. And it's a little awkward if it's the first time doing it, but just have a little patience with yourself, you'll get it. So with this switch knot, you can make it super long like we did in the other plant hanger that I did, or in this case we're going to make it short. So it's about a 2-inch gap, and I measured that on one of them, but now I'm just going to line it up with these two. So you can just hold your filler cords and move it up, or take these at the end and pull out to loosen. So I kind of tug on it and make sure that it's even. And then I usually gather them and look at them from this side, and I can see that it's even all the way across. So we're going to do 3 more half knots. Okay, when you do your second knot, kind of make sure that you didn't pull it down a lot. That looks good. 2, 3, 4. Okay, and so we're going to repeat that. So we're going to be doing another switch knot. Bring your working cords in, filler cords out, do your half knot. Bring it up. So again, here's the plant hanger that we're making today. You have the long sinnet here of half knots, switch knot, and sorry guys, that's Mia. Just give us 1 second. Okay. Usually, yep. All right, so long sinnet of half knots, switch knot, half knots, switch knot, half knot, switch knots, sinnet of half knots. Okay. Alright, so where am I? I'm going to be doing 1 more switch knot here, and I'll raise this up. Okay, switch knot again. Kind of line it up again, and then here you're going to be doing 15 half knots. it's kind of hard to describe your hand motions during all of this, but what I do is I hold the filler cords with my middle finger and thumb, and then I tighten it to ensure that this first knot doesn't move up or down. But you'll get the hang of that, you know, once you start knotting. That really just helps you keep the tension. So if you're just doing this, it's really hard to pull your working cord through. But if you're holding your filler cords at the same time, see, you can pull it straight through and then hold it and tighten it. Okay, and I kind of let it go, let it fall correctly, pick up, and keep going. Okay, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so this is the part, you're done knotting your arms. I call them arms. These arms of the plant hanger, I don't know what else to call them. But now you're going to be making the basket portion. This is when you want these to line up, you know, to look even. And that's where it's like, okay, I mean, mine look good right now, but sometimes if you start higher up or lower up, like I said before, you might need to add another knot just to make it look perfect. But here, I don't have to. So I will show you how to do the basket portion now. So just let them fall and kind of pick them up where they fall naturally. And you're going to take one working cord from one arm, one working cord from another arm. And I'll actually raise this up again. Okay, so you have one working cord from this arm, one from this arm. These will become your filler cords. And you'll take one cord from this one cord from this arm, and these will become your working cords. So you're going to be taking a total of 4. And you'll be doing the square knot. So the square knot is the left facing half knot that you've been doing this whole time, and then there's the opposite, the right facing half knot. Those together make a square knot. So with these 4 cords, I'll show you how to do the square knot. So you'll do your left facing half knot, take the first cord, make the backwards 4, bring the last cord over, behind and through your loop, and let me double check this pattern. 4.5. Okay, so you're going to want to make, this is where it depends on what pot size you have, but if you already get the kit or use, well, specifically the kit, because I've already pre-measured the rope for you, but if you do get the pattern and you want to make it for a larger pot, that's when you have holding your pot up and kind of seeing where to knot it. But this plant hanger again will, this is a 6-inch pot, and it'll go up to an 8-inch pot. And you can go down to a 4-inch pot. So, okay, so I'll show you here. You're going to want to tie this square knot about 4.5 inches down. So, about right there. Okay. So this is your half knot that you've been doing. And now you're going to be doing the right facing half knot. And it's the same thing, but backwards. You'll take your 4 cords, number them 1 through 4, and then you'll make a forward facing 4. Right? No, that's backwards. Okay, so I think I've been saying it wrong this whole time. Okay, this is a backwards 4, right? Is it to them? It's like straight up. Okay, yes. All right. You know what I'm saying. All right, so take your 4th cord, make a backwards facing 4. You'll bring the first cord over, behind, and through your loop. Okay? And tighten. And hold it in place so you don't lose this distance. And tighten. And this is your square knot. Okay? And I'll show you all that again because I think I've been saying it wrong this whole time. Okay? And we're going to be doing that around the plant hanger. So I'm going to turn this around to make it easier. Okay? So now you have 2 cords from this arm, and you'll take the first 2 cords from this other arm. And you'll have your 4 cords. Make a forward facing 4 symbol of the first cord. Then you'll take the last cord and put it over, behind, and through your loop. And that's the left facing half knot. Okay? So here's where you want to make this even, so your pot hangs evenly in your hanger and not all lopsided. So I kind of tug on it, you know, kind of see where it would lie if something heavy was in it. Okay, and that's good. And now I'll do the right facing half knot. Okay, over, behind, through the loop. Okay, you'll want these to be tight. So this is where I gather all of them, and I can see it's kind of high. So I just pull this out, lower it. Looks good. Okay, now I'll do the right facing half knot. Wow, I'm gonna get some jokes on that forward, backwards facing 4 thing. If you've ever taken one of my workshops, we're all saying like forward facing 4, no, this is the backwards facing 4. But it helps you once you, you know, when you're doing it and you can see it. And if you're doing a lot of square knots, then you have to keep track of which one you're on. Okay, so that's pretty much the basket. The last knot is going to be the tassel knot down here. A lot of plant hangers, if you wanted to make more of a basket, you could gather these 2 middle cords again and do more square knots around, and it would make, you know, a larger basket with more knotting, more detail. If you do want to do that, you just need to make sure if you have a certain pot in mind that you're kind of holding the pot in place. So you can stick your pot in here and kind of measure where the rope would fall naturally. Okay, but in this pattern, we're only going to do 1 round of square knots. Okay. All right. So the last, let's see, the last thing we're going to be doing is this sinnet of left-facing half knots, but you're going to be doing it around all of the rope. Okay, so what I like to do is kind of gather everything, and I like to take any two, but preferably two from the back. So one on the left, one on the right, and these will be your working cords. And you'll do the same thing. Forwards facing forward, goes over, behind, through your loop to make your half knot. Okay, this pattern calls for it to be 4 inches down. So it needs to move up. That's about right. And then you'll do the half knot again. And when you do the second one, that's really when you can tighten it, and you want to make sure it doesn't shoot up. So just kind of tighten it slowly so everything stays in place. And you'll do your third one, and it'll start twisting around naturally. So just let it do its thing, but make sure you're tying these tight, because these are going to be holding your pot. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay, looks a little bit funny right now, but once you get your pot in there, it'll lay straight. Okay, so now you do have a lot left over, and you will if you purchase a kit for me. And I did this just because people knot differently. A lot of people, which I've noticed in workshops, they tie their knots either really tight, so you'll have more than me left over, or they tie them very loose, and then they don't really have a lot to make a long tassel. And I don't know, I tend to put really long tassels on all of my hangers, so that's what I did that for, so you'll have some room to play with it. But with this one, I untwisted all of the rope, so to ensure that these knots don't start untying, I do a little overhand knot. Okay. And I just tie it as close as possible to the knot, and it's tight. Overhand knot. Okay. And that way you can measure. So what I do, get some scissors. I usually do about a foot long. And I'll take one. Eyeball it. And if you have, I don't have my really good sharp scissors. What are those called? They're wise?
Wise, yeah.
Wise, but what kind of, they're not scissors, they're, I don't know what they're called, but they're heavy duty, and they cut through this thick rope like butter. So if you have those, I usually gather it, and I'll put masking tape all the way around, and you can take those really thick, good scissors, I can show y'all in stories later, and just cut straight through it, and that way everything is like perfectly even. With a plate hanger tassel, I don't think it's that important, but I just have these scissors now, so I just kind of line it up. These all like uneven. You can make these shorter, you can do it like at a point, whatever you want. And you could leave it like this, or you can untwist. And I like it fringy. So I untwist. Okay, so you take the rope, untwist it as much as you can without letting go, and then pull and release one at a time, and it'll come straight out. The other option is doing this, and you'll be here for hours. So just take the strand, twist it hard, holding it in place, twist it around your finger, pull down, release. Pull it down. This is actually a good stress reliever. If you need that right now. No, it's fun. It's soothing to me. I enjoy untwisting rope. Alright. That's pretty much it. If y'all have questions, I mean, while I'm on here, I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. We have people here, and also I'm gonna hopefully post this to the IGTV when we're done, and you can post questions there or send them to me directly. And you can also watch this later on YouTube. We'll get that up either today or tonight sometime. That way you can follow along anytime you want. And all these are in my Etsy shop. They're also on my website, tiesknots.com. Last one. Alright, there we go. Your fringy long tassel. And of course, you can tell at the end when you get to this point, if you want to keep going and make, you know, your half knot tassel part longer, if you don't have enough because you made all of your knots so loose, then only do a few extra rope. If you have a lot of extra rope at the end, you can cut one piece off and do your wrap knot instead, like we did at the top. Yeah, did you show them? Here's the wrap knot on this one. This is the other plate hanger that I did last time, that I have all these different colors for. Oh, and I've also been getting questions about putting these plates at the bottom. People have asked, you know, how do you water your plants? Do you take them out every time? No. I put these little terracotta plates at the bottom and it'll catch all the water. They fit perfectly in the plant hanger. So that's a good option. And I can show you. Okay. So to put your plant in it, you just take one of the arms and pull it out.